Morning guys, hope you guys are enjoying my videos and thanks a lot for the support extended. Today I am thinking to talk about something called spiritual awakening experience, a journey across generations. I'll give we can explore together of spiritual awakening, a journey that transcends, you can say, age and time, whether you are young, in middle life, or senior. This speech invites you to pause, reflect, and embrace your deeper purpose. Now, let's begin. On a funny note, I'll share you something. A few days before, I have a friend who is well educated, well updated, a good person, like a mentor. If really he shares his experience, it will be good for like mentoring people, young generation, and those things. But his only problem is, in 24 hours, around 7 to 8 hours, he will be drinking. He has a very bad habit of heavy drink. So, on a funny note, I just asked him to get some understanding from him before having a video. I asked him, bro, what is the meaning of spiritual awakening? Now, you people will wonder the way what he answered to me. He told me, according to me, when I'm in morning when I wake up, after having my breakfast, I go for my work. In the afternoon, when I go for the lunch, before that lunch, I need to have at least 3 to 4 pegs. So he's telling that when I'm having that, my all senses gets opened, and that is the time I feel that I'm spiritually awakened. I just laughed, I just laughed because I cannot control my laugh. I told, bloody, what are you talking about spiritual awakening? Then I told him that you have understood the word of spirit. You have not understood the meaning of UAL, which is there in that spirit. You have understand the meaning of spirit. You are talking about spirit awakening. I'm not talking about spirit awakening. I'm talking about spiritual awakening. He just laughed and he left. But a very big question to you guys. What is the meaning of spiritual awakening? Now, spiritual awakening, it's an experience, a journey across generations. I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, what is the meaning of spiritual awakening according to you? Let that question sit in your mind. For me, spiritual awakening, according to me, my perception, what it says, thought process, it says, spiritual awakening, you can say, is a profound shift when we stop living on autopilot and begin to feel connected to something bigger than ourselves. I can repeat that word. For me, spiritual awakening is a profound shift when we stop living on autopilot and begin to feel connected to something bigger than ourselves. And currently, a funny note, and on a funny note, many people today think that a spiritual awakening is just sipping kale juice on a rooftop or waiting for a random, you can say, epiphany. Waiting for a random epiphany that keeps it light but still drives the deeper point home. They feel that spiritual awakening is just sitting on a mountain waiting for a random, you can say, epiphany that keeps it light but still drives the deeper point home. So, welcome everyone. Today, we embark on a journey, a spiritual awakening experience as you listen, whether you are young, adult, navigating a digital world, a middle-aged explorer seeking balance, a senior with years of wisdom. I invite you to pause and reflect. When I was younger, I believed that spiritual growth was something distant, only for monks, sages, or those far removed from everyday life, you can say. But now, with every step forward, I see that it is a constant unfolding. It is a decision we make each day to listen inward, to pause, and to recognize our purpose. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I ask you now, when was the last time you sat in stillness, no phone, no distraction, just a quiet moment with yourself? That stillness is where we often hear the faintest whispers of truth. That stillness is where we often hear the faintest whispers of truth, where we remember that we are not just bodies moving through space, but souls on a vast journey. Souls on a vast journey. Let's consider what younger generation seeks. The younger generation seeks, you crave authenticity in a world of endless screens. You want purpose, something beyond likes and fleeting trends. And for those in midlife, you can say, I know many of you balance responsibility, family, career, and often a silent yearning for deeper meaning. And for the older generation, you have seen seasons come and go. You know the power of presence. Older generation always they know the power of presence. Spiritual awakening is a bridge between who we are and who we are becoming. It is not about running away from life. Spiritual awakening is not about running away from life. It is about bringing a mindful, conscious presence to every moment. It's about bringing a mindful, conscious presence to every moment. So, guys, I want to invite you and no, take one more slow breath. Pause, a little bit pause yourself. Inhale and exhale for a second. Remember that every conscious decision, every pause is a step closer to awakening. As Rumi once said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. A wound is the place where the light enters you. And so let us walk forward with light together. It has got a very vast meaning, deeper meaning. I want to do one day a video about that. Like my title also will be the same. The wound is the place where the light enters you. And I want to elaborate that in my way. So, it's all about what I'm telling is that spiritual awakening across generations, whether you are young, in midlife or older, discover, or older also, discover how a mindful pause can transform your life, reflect, awaken, and walk forward with purpose. I don't want to drag this discussion for very very big, because spiritual awakening is something it is different. It is not about what you say like just go and sit on the mountains. You will see that no, I want to awaken my spirit. I'm just going to one place where there will be no noise, and no, it is not about that. Some people say that I'm just going on meditation. I'm just going on a meditation. Spiritual awakening, it's totally different. For me, spiritual awakening is a profound shift. It's a profound shift when we stop living on an autopilot mode and begin to feel connected to something bigger than ourselves. And that is spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening across all generations I'm talking. It is not about only the younger generations or maybe the mid generation, the older. No. It's for all the generations. Yeah, everybody, the only one thing younger generation, they should crave their authenticity in a world of endless screens. You want purpose, something beyond likes and fleeting trends. Spiritual awakening, according to me, is a bridge between two, who we are and who we are becoming. A bridge between who we were, not who we are. It's a better kind of sentences. Who we are and who we are becoming. It is not about running away from life. I had seen so many spiritual awakening videos and those things, and in that certain videos says that for spiritual awakening, for meditation, you just go in silent place and no. It is not about that. Spiritual awakening is a bridge between who we were and who we are becoming. It's not about running away from life. It is about bringing a mindful, conscious presence to every moment. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is all about bringing a mindful, conscious presence to every moment. So spiritual awakening, I think it's not a very big kind of things you should get confused on that. So thanks a lot for watching my video. I am ending my video here of spiritual awakening. I don't want to make more kind of confusing kind of words and very hard words to explain about spiritual awakening. I explained spiritual awakening in a very lighter mode because I don't want you guys to, to get confused. Spiritual, I'll tell you, you should reflect first, awaken, and walk forward with purpose. That is the one thing, spiritual awakening. As Buddha said, no matter how hard the past, you can always begin again. And that's a spiritual awakening. As Buddha said, no matter how hard the past, you can always begin again. Let's walk forward with light together. And that should give a powerful hope and hopeful close, you can say. That should give a powerful and hopeful close. That should give, I'm telling you, we don't want to more go into spiritual awakening and get confused. No, no. It's a very simple thing. Spiritual awakening. No matter how hard the past, you can always begin because there's a purpose for that. You need to always reflect, awaken, and walk forward with purpose. And thanks a lot, bye bye, my friends. Thanks a lot for listening my videos. Thanks a lot, and comment onto that. If you guys feel something to correct from my side, please comment. If you liked, if you want me to explore some more topics, please share it with me. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.